falling in love is a thing that strikes like lightning and is therefore extremely analogous to the mystical vision.
You ready? I just sound like I'm nervous.
You should be nervous.
I'm excited.
I'm spending money like I just got paid. $100 bills, tell them keep the change. Come on. Pop a bottle, about to make it rain. Let me give you something now to celebrate. Come on. And if you're wondering why I move the way I do, I just feel so good, good, good. Oh, I just feel so good, good, good. I just feel so good.
We don't know how really people attain the mystical vision. But as yet we are not clear as to why it comes about. And if there is any method of attaining it, the best one is probably to give up the whole idea of getting it. But if you should be so fortunate as to encounter either of these experiences, it seems to me to be a total denial of life to refuse it.
The days of you not being my wife have started to dwindle. Subconsciously for years, it's always seemed like you already were. It was more than a feeling. Over the past 5 years, my way of thinking started to evolve. Things started to become more about we rather than just about me.
Scott, the day is finally here. The day I have dreamt about my entire life. The day that I become your wife. It has been 5 years since we first met, and at that point in my life, I was in the midst of my job, living on my own, and just living my life to the fullest. Even though I was happy in my life, I knew there was something missing.
I'll never forget the moment when I realized I had a daughter. Little did I realize how special having a daughter was going to be. I remember holding her in my arms as a baby, sitting down and looking at her, just daydreaming, and said, someday this little girl will have her first date. Someday she'll have her first prom. And I can envision her coming down the staircase in a beautiful gown, hair done up like none other, looking like a princess. Then I realized, and I thought about it, and then there would be the day that a man would walk her down the aisle, and I would give her hand to the man of her dreams.
We spent countless hours together, learning from one another, studying each other's moves, that I've finally decided I've met a formidable opponent that I'd like to call my wife. The question is always asked, why do you love her? My response couldn't be simpler. I love you not just for who you are, but also for who you will become. For better or worse, I will continue to love you until the day I die.
From our very first date, I knew that you were different from any other man I had ever met before. I remember calling my mom and telling her that there was something so intriguing about you and how you were definitely something special, even if you were too nervous to walk me to my front door at the end of the night.
You are very strong and independent people. You have strong wills, and some of those strong wills reflected in our counseling together. But be harnessed to this commitment that you are making today. Let Jesus be the one who holds the reins of your life and guides you down his paths of righteousness.
Hi, babe.
Ready?
I'm waiting for the commands. Hi, babe.
Hi.
You look beautiful.
You ready? I just suddenly got nervous.
You shouldn't be nervous.
I'm excited.
Just another day.
Just another day.
I think we should have it outside.
Yeah, right. It's freezing. Hey, you look so handsome.
You look beautiful.
You have never been afraid to be yourself, regardless to what people may think, and I admire that. I love that you challenged me. Yes, I did say that. You might be shocked by this statement, but it's true. You are not one who is afraid to speak your mind and give your opinion on anything and everything. This shows me your strength and how you stick to what you believe in. This is the one thing I feel like that we have grown and learned so much about one another and are learning to compromise, to see each other's viewpoint, even when we both think that we are right.
Our love is different, not the kind you see on the Hallmark Channel. We didn't stumble into each other at Christmas in a ski town at a bakery. We know things will not always be perfect. And to me, that's what makes it ever so great.
Whenever you're in conflict, remember, it's the mature person who moves first towards forgiveness. A lot of times we want to hold out and say they've got to say they're sorry. They've got to come to me. But for marriage to work best, the mature person moves first. Forgiveness isn't concerned about who is right or wrong. It evades that question. Forgiveness puts pride aside and forgives one another.
Okay. Kristen is one of the most loving and loyal people I know. So when searching for someone lucky enough to have your hand in marriage and to become a part of our family, we had very high expectations. Scott, I couldn't have handpicked a better person myself. You are so special to all of us, and thank you for being you.
Started counting up the losses, weight sinking, water began to rise.
I therefore pronounce as a minister of the gospel that you are husband and wife. What God has joined together, let no man separate. Scott, you may kiss your wife.
It's time to surrender. I'm ready to fall. I'm leaving it all behind.
I see the love that you have for your family and how you make family time a priority in your life. Not only is it your family that you make time for, but it's mine too. You have fit in so perfectly. I am so lucky to have found someone who has earned my parents' respect and someone who loves my nieces and nephews just as much as I do.
One thing about Scott, he can laugh at himself. He's got a sense of humor. You almost have to if you see some of the suits and outfits he wears. And I gotta say this, you gotta be a man's man to wear some of those things.
I won't let it get the best of me. Gravity holds the key for me now. I'm ready to fall. I'm leaving it all behind.
More than anything, I see how you love me. Your faith and trust in me is something I am so thankful for. I have seen you go from someone who is so guarded in the beginning of our relationship to someone who has let their guard down and allowed them to be vulnerable with me. I promise to protect you and be the best wife I can be and give you the life you deserve. I promise to support you in every phase of our life together. I will always love you unconditionally, even when I'm mad at you. I can't wait to explore this new life experiences and start a family together and grow old with you. I am so lucky to be able to call you my husband. Thank you for taking a chance on me. I love you forever and always.
I'm ready to fall.
You'll always be my adventure, pushing me out of my comfort zone and into new things. Whether it's snorkeling in the Caribbean or hiking in the Himalayas, you'll always be able to find a way to make me sweat. No matter where we go and the ventures we do, there's no one else I'd rather experience it with than you. I know you'll be a great wife because you can put up with me, and you'll be the prettiest bride that I've ever seen. As our day approaches fast, all the commotion will pass, but the only thing I want you to remember is our love will always last. Love, Scott.
I won't let it get the best of me. Gravity holds the key for me now. I'm ready to fall. I'm leaving it all behind. I'm ready to fall. All of these ghosts, I'm letting them go this time. So cut the line.
Actually, therefore, the course of wisdom, what is really sensible, is to let go, is to commit oneself, to give oneself up, and that's quite mad. So we come to the strange conclusion that in madness lies sanity.